Hi, Sagittarius, or anyone with a Sagittarius placement anywhere. This reading is a general reading for the 29th through the 5th, so we're going to look at anything that could be coming towards you next week. If I can get my words out, that would help. If you have not already subscribed to the channel, please make sure that you do, because I'm switching some things around. Love reads will no longer be monthly. They're weekly now, and those come out Tuesdays if you are interested. All right, so I'm just going to finish pulling your cards. That's the Three of Cups. Couldn't see it. Thank you for all of your subscribes, comments, shares, and donations. And yeah, that's all I need to tell you. All right, so let me look at your spread. And then after I do your reading, we will pull a yes or no oracle card for a yes or no question. So just in advance, be thinking about what that'll be. All right, bottom of the deck is Five of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, Hermit in the reverse. So Sagittarius, I feel like you listened to some bad advice. For some of you, you took like a crummy stock tip or something and it didn't pan out. But for others of you, this can just be like in life, right? As I'm looking at your spread, it's making me feel as though you're starting to look at the people in your environment and you're wondering if they really do have your best interest in mind. Because I'm seeing that you went through a period of confusion, and it looks like you were trying to lean on your friends or your family for some sort of support. And it almost looks like they set you up to move in the wrong direction. Now, something that I'm noticing about your spread, Sagittarius, is that it feels like you kind of have problems with taking action. And that's because you don't want to make the wrong choice, is what I'm seeing here. So sometimes it looks like maybe you put other people's advice over your own inner guide. You get what I mean? It's like, it's okay to ask people what they think about stuff. But I'm kind of seeing here that you're starting to realize that you've been allowing people's opinions or ideas to dictate the actions that you're taking for yourself, right? And it's your life. That's the problem, right? What's good for them is not necessarily good for you. So I see that as a result of whatever this is, where it feels like you kind of didn't trust your own intuition because you were a little bit confused. And then you ended up looking to someone else like, well, what would you do if you were me? It seems like it brought you some disappointment, unfortunately. Now it looks as though you're going back to the drawing board to try to figure out how you can rectify this situation. So whatever it is, you know what I mean? It could be work, it could be home, it could be just your life. Like maybe you majored in something that your parents wanted you to major in, and then you realize you don't want to be a doctor. You know what I mean? So trying to figure out, what do you want? What makes you happy? What gets you excited? There's an energy here of feeling kind of bored and feeling as though you wish you could go back to that time in your life when you could make that decision, wishing that you could make that decision again, because you're kind of seeing like how things played out and thinking, what would life be like on the other side of the choice that I made? Like, what if I did the different thing, I feel like at this time, you're not really taking a lot of action because you're just kind of mulling it over. I think that this situation is actually really expanding your perspective, because you're starting to see other areas of your life where perhaps you've allowed what the group is doing or what the status quo is to dictate what you should be doing, right? And so this is kind of showing me that you're getting very clear about like your own code of ethics. What do you believe in? What do you feel is like the law in which you govern your own life, right? I feel like what's coming towards you is an opportunity for you to break away from the group. There's an energy here of you not stepping into your power. It kind of feels like you give your power away, and so I feel like as you're starting to view yourself, it's almost the energy of you looking at yourself as like, well, I'm a butterfly in a cocoon and I have not emerged yet because I've been living life in a way that everyone else expected me to live. But what would my life look like if I only did what I thought was best for me, right? There's a really big fear here around making the wrong choice, and what I'll say about that, Sagittarius, is that we all make the wrong choice sometimes, right? But making no choice is probably worse, or giving away your power to the people in your environment so that they can decide for you. That's worse than you making the wrong choice, because then when that happens, you're living out someone else's mistakes, right? End of the week, I feel like you're going to become a lot more decisive. You're going to start realizing, like, I do have control over my life a lot more than I thought I did, right? There's something here where you're like obligated, or you feel very obligated to satisfy everyone. And maybe that's why, you ask people for advice, because you're very worried about the outcome being good for everyone involved, right? But I feel like towards the end of the week, you're going to get into a place where you start realizing that maybe not everyone is so worried about you the way that you are worried about them, right? Maybe people make decisions and they're not as concerned if it benefits the group or if it benefits you. And then you're on the short end of that stick, right? So end of the week, I see you getting very clear about the way you've been moving through your life. And at the very least, making a decision to probably not include other people when you have big choices, or to take advice with a grain of salt, okay? So I'm going to pull you an oracle card, and then I will pull you a yes or no. So be thinking about your question. It says, in your heart, you know what is good for you and what makes you excited to be alive day after day. You need to trust your dreams and follow your instincts. If you don't, you'll only end up making other people's dreams come true. That's exactly what I picked up on. You've got this. Just know that everybody makes mistakes, right? Don't be so hard on yourself, because it's almost like analysis paralysis, right? Okay, let's get your yes or no. So I hope you're thinking of your question. Let's see what we have. If you can let go of past hurts, the situation looks promising. So whatever your question was, that is your answer. If your question pertained to this situation, I feel like do not sit around too much thinking about the disappointment that you're feeling about the way this happened. It's time to take action, okay? Because it looks like you can turn this around if that's something you want. But if you asked about something else, this is your answer. Thank you so much for allowing me to read for all of you, and I will speak to you tomorrow when I release your love readings. Bye.